Hello, I am going to take a few days and do some little backpack hunting for whitetail. Just 2 nights and 3 days. And I'm going to be hunting with my Bear Takedown 50th anniversary. So I want to go over some of the highlights of that and some of the benefits of having a 3-piece bow when you go backpacking and how you can store that. Instead of having to carry it, I like to use hiking poles or trekking poles. So I take my bow apart, put it in the pack, and then when I get to my camp, I'll set it all up again. One thing I do before taking it apart is I'll measure my brace height, make sure that I've got it right. And then I'll mark one of my arrows with a Sharpie just to make sure that that brace height stays the same. So I've marked that arrow with the Sharpie here, and then I'll know where it lines up with my side plate. So when I go to assemble my bow, I'll know that I've got that brace height reestablished, so my tune is not off. That way I don't have to carry a bow square with me, which is kind of fragile and gets bent. So other than that, it's pretty simple. I just nest the limbs together and leave the bowstring over the tip of the top limb, and that way the string doesn't come untwisted. And I'll set that down inside of my pack as well. And then I'll strap the riser with the quiver attached to the outside of the pack, so I don't have to detach my quiver. And I'm running a Thunderhorn quiver that's a side bolt mount. But I do bring a wrench with me just in case that were to come loose or I needed to take it apart for further disassembly. Well, disassembly is super easy on these Bear Takedowns, no tools needed. Just unstring your bow, release the limb latches, and the limbs will pop out. And then, like I said, I'll just nest them together while they're inside of my pack. I wax my string real well before I disassemble it. And then it just goes right in my pack like this, and then I strap this to the outside of my pack. Super simple. Here's my pack with the bow strapped to the outside of it. I also, on this trip, am taking a little folding stool, super lightweight aluminum stool. It's a little further back in there, about 3.5, 4 miles further than I want to carry a tree stand. So I've got a ghillie jacket in the pack, and I'll use that little stool. I just make a ground blind. And pack's pretty full bulk wise. It's not super heavy, but it's down in the upper 20s at night. So I brought my warmer bag, and then that ghillie suit takes up quite a bit of space in the top of the pack as well. So that's how I'll be hunting from the ground with my takedown bow and a ghillie jacket. Well, made it to a cool campsite. This little confluence of 2 drainages here. Got some water down there flowing just enough, and there's about the same amount over that little hill that come together down there. Just using a tarp, the ground cloth. no measurable precipitation is forecast. So I'm comfortable camping down by the creek like this. It will be a little colder at night, but it's nice not to have to go far from water. And as you can see, the hillsides are pretty burned, so most of the only shelter is in the bottoms. A cool bluff there for a windbreak as well. We'll reassemble the bow, just reverse as how it came apart. Open the latches. Put the top limb in. Snap that. Check the brace height. Pretty good. I'll probably stretch in a little bit after it's been unstrung like that. All right. Nice dirt bank for some practice shots. I've had several of the takedown bows Bear makes, including last year's A mag, and I'm excited that they reintroduced the B mag next year. I'd like to give that a try. I didn't shoot that A mag very well. I liked the bow, just didn't fit me that well. It's the first A riser I'd shot. But this 50th anniversary, it fits me better than any of the other bows, and I really like this bow. I shoot 400 spine carbons with 250 grains all total up front, not 200 grains with the insert and the point. And I've been shooting the trad vanes for the last year or so. I really like them. They don't fly any different for me than the feathers do, so I'll probably continue to shoot those. They're a lot quieter in the bush, and I think in the flight as well. So, great bow. My favorite for sure. Last few years I've been using the gravity filter. This one by Platypus. Man, it is so much simpler than pumping water. Real nice little stream down there. Spring fed. Some mint growing down there, I smelled. You do this to purge the line of air. hold it above the filter, above the reservoir bag. Then open the clip. It goes at a pretty good rate. Comes with several different adapters for different water bottles. Pretty much universal. All different sizes. That's 1 liter. Yeah. Pretty slick. You can do that while you set up camp or whatever. Once it's full, it just quits moving. Doesn't have any detriment to leave it open. Leaves the clip open once the bottle's full of the bag. The reservoir is a 2 liter reservoir. And you can back flush the filter in the field if it were to get clogged. This water's so clean coming into it, if you're careful and don't scoop up the bottom, these filters last a long time. I'm using the little debris stove or twig stove by Solo, ultralight one. It's pretty good. You have to pay attention and keep feeding it sticks, but it will burn. This stove will burn. You don't have to bring as much, you don't have to bring any fuel, so don't have to be cautious about quickly boiling your water or simmering food. And like I said, this probably weighs about the same as a couple canisters of fuel in a stove, or a big canister in a stove. It does get your pot all sooty, and like I said, it does require that you maintain feeding sticks into it, but it's pretty cool. So wake up, harmonica, fire, and coffee. Cold night last night, but slept way better than the night before. Night before, couldn't stay on the air mattress, funky dreams. It was a crazy night, but last night much better, except for the coyote that was right there on that hillside about 40 yards away, barking and barking and barking from 9 until 10:30. And I finally flashed my light over there on it. I could see it, and it was a pretty bright moon last night, so that was cool. But man, that thing wouldn't shut up. It was barking and howling. Then it went down to the valley. Sat down there and doing the same thing. So the deer hunting has been super slow. In fact, I've only seen 3 whitetail. I have seen a bunch of mule deer doe, but that's not what I'm after. So not so great for hunting, but cool area. I might come back in the spring. And only saw a couple squirrels and a couple rabbits too, so just not a ton of game in here. But like I said, a neat area. I'm gonna hike out here this morning after I take camp down. I might go out a different way. It's longer, but see some different country. So we'll see how my legs are doing. I'll try to get back to the car by noon. Well, nice time. I don't know what the temperatures were last night. I think they were supposed to be in the upper 20s, but I stayed pretty warm. Lowrider, in case you didn't recognize it. This moment brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Not really. The views expressed here are in no way supported by Capital One, any of its affiliates. Capital One does not condone, nor does it condemn the activities pursued herein. Alright, no, Capital One is not a sponsor. But thought I would show what's in my pack. So, down sleeping bag, boonie hat, North Noah's tarp, Kelty's Noah tarp. That's the 9x9 version. My sleeping pad is Thermarest Neo Air, which I'm still on the fence about. Super lightweight, but really narrow, so you fall off at night. And if it's too full, it's too bouncy. So I don't know. I might go back to my old Thermarest 3/4 length. Trekking poles, 3-piece black diamonds. These things have been great. Sissy sticks, they used to call them, but now everybody uses them, so they don't call them that anymore. Glove mitts, lightweight gloves. Oh, my meals, Mountain House. Classic spaghetti the first night. Last night I had chicken and rice. Pretty good. Then I bring coffee. I like that stuff from Trader Joe's. It's called All Dressed Up. It's got cream and sugar mixed in with it. So I like that. Stuff bags. Snow Peak titanium cup. And solo stove. Thing works out pretty cool. I like it. Makes everything nice and smoky smelling, so you know you've been camping. Stakes for my tent, my tarp. We already went over the platypus filtration system. InReach Mini. This thing is a cool little unit. Man, the battery lasts forever, and I use it to keep in touch with home. Other than if there were ever an emergency, there's the SOS feature, but I don't always have cell phone coverage in these canyons, and so even if you were to biff it off a cliff like that and didn't have cell coverage, you could still probably have GPS coverage and get a message out. So the thing is dinky and doesn't weigh anything, so no reason not to carry this. Black diamond headlamp, This thing is super bright. It does kind of burn through the batteries on high power, but it's got 3 different colors of green, blue, and red lights, which work pretty well around camp. Trusty harmonica, key of C. Oh yeah, this is just a portable water bottle with a filter built in it, so you don't have to carry water with you all day if you have streams around, and a couple of them up here, so you can just drink as you need. Small binoculars. I don't use my big binoculars up here. These work really well. Arm guard. Oh yeah, homemade wind drifters. These are from the milkweed. And they float for quite a ways. Now you can see what the wind's doing. Extra batteries for the headlamp. Platypus water filter storage. An Algae bottle. I heat up half of this at night in my stove and put it in the foot of my sleeping bag. Little luxury. First aid kit, survival kit type stuff in here. Always take that with me. Different fire starting methods, and compass in there, and emergency blanket, first aid stuff. Knife and knife sharpener in a hand-sewn, handmade leather case sewn with sinew from a fox's tail. It's a little diamond stone. A folding saw. Well, I thought I might build a ground blind. And then game bags. And all these caribou bags are super cool. If you go to Walmart, you can buy king-size cover pillowcases, microfiber. It's the same fabric. And you get 2 of them for $4.50, or maybe even less. And they fold up nice, and if you do ruin them, big deal. So there's 4 pillowcases there that I use for game bags. I got a bunch of these caribou bags too, and they're neat. And got good drawstrings and fancy little hooks and reflectors on them, but at the end of the day, Walmart pillowcases work pretty darn good. And then my trusty, probably 30-year-old Dwight shoe day pack. It's from the frame pack, but this thing is great. It's the quietest day pack, so this is what I carry when I hunt. It keeps everything inside. If I need it waterproof, I just put them in a waterproof stuff sack inside of that. But that's much quieter backpack in a tree stand or going through the bush. And then my backpack is Kuiu 6000, Ultra 6000. I think this one is the Ultra 6000. Yeah. Funny big, although I always find stuff to put in it. It's a pretty versatile system. You've got the game hauler with it as well, and a day pack converter for that too. So it's comfortable, it's lightweight. I think that's a pretty good pack den for me anyway. Oh yeah, and then I take a little piece of Thermarest, little Ridgecrest pad, just to sit on around camp or on my log there. And the Noah's tarp. You can pitch it in a variety of configurations. The trick to do it is with this not so many ropes, so you don't trip over and fall on the ground in the middle of the night when you get up to go to the restroom. Not that I've ever done that. That's it. That's the camp that's now going to get put back together. A neat place. That's where that coyote was, right up on that hillside there. Barking and barking and barking. Yesterday was super windy. I hope today is not. Looks like a great morning. Time to go.